Hey friends, tonight we imagine you're standing on a lush grassy field. The sun just peeking over the horizon, its first rays slipping through your fingers, warm and gentle. You take a deep breath, feeling the fresh air fill your lungs, as if all the middle-aged tiredness is melting away. But watch out! If you don't use this sunlight right, you might not survive this tale, especially with your skin starting to betray you with those new wrinkles. So, before you get too comfy, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I'm doing here. By the way, where are you and what time is it there? Share it with me. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background, and let's begin our journey tonight. You wake up on a morning, your body a bit sluggish, that aching back reminding you you're no longer in your 20s. But don't worry, today you'll kick off your battle against illness with the simplest tool, natural sunlight. You shuffle out to the yard, your slippers scraping against the cool tiles, and the early morning sun hits your face. Not that harsh midday glare that just makes you sweat and grumpy. No, this is gentle sunlight, the kind your body craves to produce vitamin D, the key to keeping your bones strong and your mood lifted. Stand still for a moment, letting those rays touch your skin. Can you feel it? A warm glow spreads, as if the sun is whispering, "Hey, I'm here to help you." Just 15 minutes each morning is enough. No more, or you'll turn into a wrinkled paper bag, right? But those 15 minutes work wonders. Vitamin D not only strengthens your bones, but also chases away anxiety, that heavy feeling middle age often brings, when you're worrying about bills or whether the kids will call. Think about the ancient Egyptians. Around 3000 BCE, they worshipped the sun god Ra, believing sunlight was life itself. They weren't wrong. Modern science agrees that a lack of vitamin D can lead to depression and chronic fatigue, your biggest middle-aged foes. But here's a quirky detail. They even made a homemade sunscreen from crocodile dung mixed with olive oil to protect their skin. Would you dare try it? Not me. But thankfully, we've got better sunscreen options today. Now, you're standing there, sunlight on your shoulders, and you start wondering, am I doing this right? Historians still debate whether the ancient Egyptians truly understood vitamin D or just stumbled upon sunlight's benefits through religious rituals. Either way, you don't need to argue. Just stand there, close your eyes, and feel it. You hear birds chirping somewhere, a gentle breeze through your hair, and you smile. Your first smile of the day. But don't linger too long, or you'll get sunburned. You head back inside, feeling like your body's been recharged. Here's a little joke. If the sun could talk, it'd say, "No need to thank me. I do this for free." You giggle, your mood brightening, ready for the day ahead. Sunlight isn't just light. It's the natural medicine your middle-aged body is begging for. You're still basking in the glow of that morning sunshine, feeling a little more alive than you did an hour ago. Your body's soaking up that vitamin D, and you're ready to take on the next step in our journey, to beat back the aches and pains of middle age. You shuffle into your kitchen. The tiles cool against your bare feet, and you notice a glass sitting on the counter. It's empty, just like your energy reserves sometimes feel by midday. But not today, because you're about to learn how to drink water like the ancient Greeks did, a simple habit that'll flush out toxins and give your heart a fighting chance. You pick up the glass, its smooth surface catching the light, and you head to the sink. The water runs cold, a faint trickle echoing in the quiet morning. You fill the glass slowly, watching the bubbles rise, and you can't help but think, this is it? Just water? Oh! But it's not just water, not when you do it the way the Greeks did thousands of years ago. Back in 1200 BCE, during the height of the Mycenaean civilization, the Greeks believed water wasn't just for survival, it was sacred. They collected from natural springs, often mixing it with a bit of wine or honey, thinking it could purify both body and soul. They weren't entirely wrong. Modern science backs this up. Staying hydrated flushes out toxins, keeps your blood pressure in check, and reduces strain on your heart. Crucial for someone in their middle years like you. You take a sip, the water crisp against your lips, and you imagine yourself standing by a Greek spring, the air thick with the scent of olive trees. The Greeks had a quirky habit, though. They'd often drink water while facing the sunrise, believing it aligned their spirits with the gods. Sounds a bit out there, doesn't it? But there's something calming about sipping slowly, letting the water slide down your throat, cool and refreshing as you picture that ancient ritual. You're not just hydrating. You're connecting to a tradition that's lasted millennia. Now, let's get practical. You're aiming for about 8 glasses a day, but not all at once. Spread it out. You take another sip, feeling the water settle in your stomach, and you notice your head feels a little clearer already. Dehydration sneaks up on you in middle age, making you sluggish, cranky, even dizzy. You don't want to be that person who faints at the grocery store because they forgot to drink water. Imagine the embarrassment. You chuckle to yourself, thinking, well, at least I'd have a story to tell. But here's where it gets interesting. The Greeks didn't just drink water. They were obsessed with its temperature. Some ancient texts suggest they preferred it slightly warm, believing it aided digestion better than cold water. Scholars still debate whether this was a health practice or just a cultural quirk. Did warm water really help, or were they just avoiding the shock of cold on their teeth? Either way, you decide to try it. You pour out the cold water, run the tap until it's lukewarm, and refill your glass. The first sip feels odd, like drinking a hug. It's not bad, just different, and you feel a gentle warmth spreading through your chest. You're standing there, glass in hand, when you remember that jar of honey on the counter. The Greeks loved adding a drizzle of honey to their water. Not too much, just enough to sweeten it lightly. You spoon in a tiny bit, stirring it until the water turns a faint golden hue. The next sip is like a treat, a subtle sweetness that makes you smile. It's not just about the taste, though. Honey has natural antioxidants, which can help fight inflammation, another middle-aged nemesis. You feel a little fancy, like you're sipping something from a philosopher's table. If Plato were here, he'd probably say, "You're hydrating wisely, my friend." You laugh softly at the thought. Guess you're a philosopher now, too. You finish the glass, feeling refreshed, your body thanking you with every cell. This simple act, drinking water with intention, has set the tone for your day. You're not just surviving middle age, you're thriving one sip at a time. You just finish your glass of honey-sweetened water, feeling a bit more refreshed, like you've tapped into some ancient Greek wisdom. The warmth of the water still lingers in your chest as you set the glass down, but now your body's itching for movement. You glance out the window. Those rays of sunlight from earlier are still calling you, and you decide it's time to step outside again. This time, though, you're not just soaking up the sun. You're going to walk. Walk like a samurai from feudal Japan, using a technique that'll straighten your posture, ease your aching joints, and make you feel like a warrior. Even if your biggest battle today is deciding what's for lunch. You slip on a pair of sneakers, the laces a little frayed from years of use, and step onto the pavement. The air smells fresh, with a hint of dew still clinging to the grass nearby. You're about to take on the samurai walking style, a method rooted in Japan's Edo period, around the 1600s, when warriors needed to move with precision and grace, even in heavy armor. They called it namba or ruki, a way of walking where your right arm and right leg move forward together, then your left arm and left leg, minimizing sway and keeping your body balanced. It's not the way you usually walk, with your arms swinging opposite your legs, but that's the point. This technique forces your core to engage, aligning your spine and reducing the strain on your knees and hips. Perfect for someone like you, whose joints creak a bit more than they used to. You start walking, feeling a little awkward at first. Your right arm swings forward with your right leg, and you almost trip over your own feet. You laugh to yourself, thinking, if a real samurai saw me now, they'd probably banish me to the rice fields. But you keep going, adjusting your rhythm. After a few steps, you get the hang of it. Your shoulders naturally square up, your back straightens, and you feel taller, more grounded. The motion is almost meditative, each step deliberate, like you're gliding across the ground instead of stomping through your usual morning shuffle. This isn't just some trendy fitness hack, either. The samurai developed namba, a rookie for practical reasons. It conserved energy during long marches and kept their bodies stable for sudden combat. Historians note that this walking style was so ingrained that even commoners in Edo period Japan adopted it, especially in rural areas. But here's a strange tidbit. Some scholars say the technique might have also been a way to avoid splashing mud on our kimonos during rainy seasons, since it reduced the side-to-side sway that'd kick up dirt. Imagine that you're walking like a samurai, but also avoiding laundry day. You smirk at the thought, picturing yourself in a kimono, dodging puddles like a pro. You keep moving, the rhythm of your steps syncing with your breathing. Each stride feels lighter, like your joints are thanking you for the break. Middle age often brings stiffness. Your knees ache after sitting too long. Your lower back protests when you stand up too fast. But this samurai walk engages muscles you didn't even know you had, distributing the effort evenly across your body. You feel a gentle burn in your core, and your hips don't creak as much as they did yesterday. It's almost like you've turned back the clock a few years, just by changing how you move. Now, here's where things get debated. Some historians argue over whether Namba Rukki was truly a widespread practice among samurai, or just a regional quirk exaggerated by later generations. Did it really offer health benefits, or was it more about cultural aesthetics? You don't care about the debate, though. You're too busy enjoying the way your body feels. You pass a neighbor's garden, the scent of blooming flowers mixing with the morning air, and you nod to yourself. This is working. You're not just walking. You're healing, one samurai step at a time. You've covered a short loop around your block, and you're feeling surprisingly energized. You think, maybe I should have brought a sword. Really lean into the vibe. You chuckle softly, imagining yourself swinging a katana while the neighbors stare. But for now, this walk is enough. Your posture's better. Your joints feel looser, and you're ready to take on the next step in our journey, to defy middle-age ailments. You read back from your samurai walk, your body feeling a bit more aligned, like you just borrowed some of that warrior grace from centuries past. The morning air still clings to your skin as you step into the kitchen, your stomach rumbling softly, a reminder that it's time to eat. But today, you're not just going to scarf down your meal like you usually do, racing against the clock before your next task. No, you're going to eat slowly, chew thoroughly, like a French king from the 17th century, because this simple act will work wonders for your digestion and help you manage that middle-aged waistline that keeps creeping up on you. You pull out a plate, the clink of ceramic against the counter breaking the quiet, and start assembling a simple lunch. Maybe some grilled chicken, a handful of greens, and a slice of crusty bread. It's nothing fancy, but that's the point. You're not dining at a royal court, but you're about to channel the spirit of Louis XIV, the Sun King, who ruled France in the late 1600s and was known for his elaborate dining rituals. Back then, meals weren't just about eating. They were performances. Louis would sit at a grand table, surrounded by courtiers, and eat with deliberate slowness, chewing each bite carefully to savor the flavors and show off his refinement. But there was a practical side to this, too. Eating slowly helped his digestion, especially important for a king who indulged in rich foods that could easily upset a stomach. You sit down at your table, the chair creaking slightly under you, and take a moment to look at your plate. The greens glisten with a light drizzle of olive oil, and the bread smells faintly of yeast. You pick up your fork, spearing a piece of chicken, and bring it to your mouth. But you don't rush. You chew slowly, counting at least 20 times before swallowing. The texture of the chicken changes as you chew, breaking down into smaller pieces, and you notice flavors you'd usually miss. A hint of smokiness, a touch of salt. It's almost meditative, this act of chewing, and you feel your jaw relax, your mind slowing down with each bite. Here's a quirky historical detail. Louis XIV's court had a bizarre obsession with watching the king eat. They called it the Grand Couvert, where nobles would gather just to observe him dine. Some even paid for the privilege. Imagine that, paying to watch someone chew. You laugh to yourself, thinking, if I charge people to watch me eat, I'd probably make enough for a new pair of shoes. But the slow eating wasn't just for show. Chewing thoroughly breaks down food more effectively, easing the burden on your stomach and intestines, which is crucial in middle age when your digestion isn't as robust as it used to be. It also helps you feel fuller faster, so you're less likely to overeat, a lifesaver when your metabolism seems to have taken an extended vacation. You take a bite of the bread next, chewing deliberately, letting the crusty exterior and soft interior meld together in your mouth. You're starting to feel satisfied with less food than usual, and your stomach doesn't feel heavy or bloated like it sometimes does after a rush meal. There's science behind this. Eating slowly gives your brain time to register fullness, about 20 minutes, studies say, which is why gobbling down your lunch in 5 minutes often leaves you reaching for seconds. You smirk, thinking, guess I'm smarter than my stomach now. But there's a debate here. Some historians argue over whether Louis XIV's slow eating was truly about health or just a display of power. Did he chew slowly to aid digestion, or was he just flexing his royal patience while his courtiers starved, waiting for their turn? You don't care much for the politics of it. You're just enjoying the way your body feels, lighter, more in control. You take a sip of that lukewarm water from earlier, remembering the honeyed taste, and it pairs perfectly with the meal. You finish your plate, feeling content, not stuffed. Your digestion feels smoother already, and you think, maybe I should eat like a king more often, minus the audience, of course. You smile at the thought, ready to move on to the next step in our journey, to keep middle-age ailments at bay. OUV just finished your meal, savoring each bite like a French king, and your stomach feels settled, grateful for the slow pace. The afternoon sun is filtering through your window, casting lazy shadows on the floor, and you're feeling a bit drowsy, but in a good way, like your body's ready to relax. That's perfect, because now you're going to focus on breathing, but not just any breathing. You're about to try a deep breathing technique used by indigenous Australians, a practice that'll help you melt away stress and flood your aging body with the oxygen it craves. You find a quiet spot, maybe a cushy chair in your living room or a patch of grass in your backyard, if you're feeling adventurous. You sit down, the fabric of the chair soft against your back, or the grass tickling your legs, and you close your eyes. The technique you're about to try comes from the Aboriginal peoples of Australia, who've been practicing deep breathing for tens of thousands of years as part of their spiritual and physical rituals. Around 40,000 years ago, they were already using controlled breathing to connect with the land, believing it brought balance to both body and spirit. They'd often sit in a circle, inhaling deeply through their noses and exhaling through their mouths, a rhythm that mimicked the natural cycles of the earth, wind, waves, the heartbeat of the outback. You start by inhaling slowly through your nose. Count of 5 in your head. The air feels cool as it fills your lungs, expanding your chest, and you imagine you're sitting on red desert sand, the sun warm on your shoulders. You hold the breath for a moment, then exhale through your mouth, a soft whoosh that carries away the tension in your shoulders. You repeat the cycle, and with each breath, you feel your heart rate slow, your mind clear like a foggy window being wiped clean. Stress is a silent killer in middle age. It spikes your cortisol, messes with your sleep, and makes every ache feel worse. But this breathing is like a reset button, calming your nervous system and giving your cells a much-needed oxygen boost. Here's an odd detail. Some Aboriginal groups believe that deep breathing could call animals during a hunt, as the rhythm of their breath synced with the heartbeat of their prey. It's a bit mystical, sure, but there's a poetry to it, don't you think? You smile, imagining yourself trying to summon a kangaroo with your breathing, though the only thing you're summoning right now is a sense of calm. You take another deep breath, feeling the air reach the very bottom of your lungs, and you notice your shoulders dropping, your jaw unclenching. This isn't just about relaxation, though. Deep breathing increases oxygen flow, which helps your muscles recover from that samurai walk you did earlier, and it even improves circulation. Key for keeping your heart healthy as you age. You keep going, inhaling, exhaling, the rhythm steady like a drumbeat. You think, if I keep this up, I might just become a Zen master. You chuckle softly, the sound blending with a faint hum of fan in the background, or maybe it's a wind if you're outside, carrying the scent of eucalyptus, just like the Australian outback. But here's where scholars don't quite agree. Some researchers debate whether Aboriginal breathing practices were purely for physical health or their primary purpose was spiritual. Do they breathe deeply to heal their bodies, or to connect with ancestral spirits? You don't need to pick a side. You're just enjoying the way your body feels lighter, your mind less cluttered. You take one last deep breath, exhaling slowly, and you feel ready to tackle the rest of your day, or maybe just the next step in our journey to fend off middle-age woes. You've just finished that deep breathing session, your chest rising and falling gently, a calm wave washing over you like the outback winds. Your body feels lighter, your mind quieter, but now the afternoon is slipping into a golden haze, and your eyelids are growing heavy. That's okay. You're exactly where you need to be, because now you can take a nap, but not just any nap. You're going to sleep like a Renaissance genius, a short rest that'll recharge your energy and sharpen your memory, keeping your middle-aged brain from turning into a foggy mess. You find a cozy spot, maybe your couch with a soft throw blanket, or a hammock if you're lucky enough to have one swaying in the breeze. You sink into it, the fabric cradling your back, and let your head rest against a pillow that smells faintly of lavender from that sachet you tucked inside last week. This nap style comes from the likes of Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo, back in the 1500s during the Italian Renaissance, when these brilliant minds worked tirelessly on art and invention. They didn't sleep long nights. They'd take short naps, sometimes just 20 minutes, throughout the day to keep their creativity flowing and their minds alert. It was practical for them, juggling commissions and sketches, and it turns out as a gem for you too, as your energy dips more often these days. You close your eyes, letting the world fade out, and set a mental timer for 20 minutes, no more, or you'll wake up groggy, like you've been hit by a truck. You drift off, your breathing slowing, and you imagine Leonardo sketching his studio, pausing to rest his eyes before diving back into a masterpiece. This power nap boosts your brain's alertness by cycling through light sleep stages, giving your memory a little polish. Perfect when you're forgetting where you parked the car or what you had for breakfast. You feel your body relax, the tension in your neck melting away, and you're pretty sure you hear a faint hum, maybe from a fridge or that fan you left on earlier. Here's a quirky fact. Some Renaissance artists believe napping under an open window, with fresh air flowing in, enhanced their dreams, giving them wild ideas for their next painting. It's a bit odd, but you can't help smiling, picturing Michelangelo dreaming of David's perfect marble form while a breeze ruffles his hair. You're not aiming for artistic inspiration, though, just a bit of rejuvenation. Your body thanks you, and your mind feels clearer already, ready to tackle the evening without that mid-afternoon slump. But there's a scholarly debate here. Some historians argue whether these geniuses nap by choice or necessity. Did they embrace the habit for health and creativity, or were they just exhausted from their relentless schedules? You don't need to settle the argument. You're just enjoying the stillness, the way your body feels rested after those 20 minutes. You wake up gently, stretching your arms, and think, if a nap can make me feel this good, maybe I should start calling myself a genius too. You chuckle softly, the sound blending with the quiet of your room. You sit up, feeling refreshed, your memory sharper. Yep, you remember that lumpy couch cushion from last week's nap, don't you? This little rest has set you up to finish the day strong, and you're ready to carry these habits forward. But for now, you take a deep breath, letting the calm linger, knowing you've given your middle-aged self a fighting chance against time. And now, as the day softens into evening, let your thoughts drift gently, like leaves floating on a slow river. You walk through sunlight, sip water, move like a warrior, eaten like royalty, breathe like the ancients, and rested like a genius. Each step a quiet rebellion against the weariness of age. Picture the golden light fading, the world growing hazy, a soft darkness wrapping around you like a warm embrace. Your body feels lighter, your mind at peace, and as you listen to the faint hum of the night, let your eyelids grow heavy once more. Sleep now, dear friend, with dreams of health and strength, and know you've done well. Shoot, good night.